Hi everyone, this is Christine again. So I did a recent video on how I got a job in childcare. And now, as I mentioned in my very first video, these videos are more for me to keep them as a reflective journal, kind of, to keep track of my development and my career in education. So I want to make a short video about my first 2 months in the childcare center, my very first experience there. So, so I never forget as well. You know, when you get a lot of experience, it's pretty easy to forget about how you felt when you just started the job. And I just want to make a video so I never forget and to share it with family, friends, and whoever wants to watch it. So, my very first day at the center was really hectic. So anyone who work in education, and I'm pretty sure most of the businesses are like that, but the very beginning of the year, it's always a bit chaotic because there's a lot of changes, where management changes sometimes. That's what happened in that center where I was, new manager, new ways of doing things, and also with education, like new children, or like the children change classes, and new teachers, and new environment, new classroom, and all of this happened at the same time. And like it's pretty stressful for everyone, the kids, especially when very young age. I work with 2 years old, like 1.5, 2 years old, 2 years old, and it's pretty stressful for them because we just change room, new faces, new educators, and some of the children were new in the whole center, so first time for them to go to a childcare center. Is stressful for the parents because, well, you know, it's the beginning of the year. Will my child be okay? Like, you know that your child is crying a lot. It takes time for him or her to adjust to the changes to the beginning of the year, new childcare center and everything. And it's stressful for, and also for the parents, like, can I trust the center? Can I trust the teachers? And everything. So a lot of stress as well. And for the teachers, well, new room, new children, and you know about all of the stress you receive from the parents and from the kids and from the new management, and you also have a lot of paperwork to do. You have new teams, and you need to learn to work together. It's a very stressful beginning of the year. Like, it's the same everywhere, and that's how I started. And like, especially in that center, because they had a new manager, and they were in the middle of a transition between the old manager and the new manager. So it was a lot of changes and a lot of stress. And I arrived like a flower in the middle of all this chaos. And sorry, here you go. And so I was in a new team, and I didn't have any experience at all. And my very first day, the manager who hired me wasn't there. So I think she had something urgent coming up and she couldn't come. And I think there was a lack of communication or maybe misunderstanding between the two of them, because the other one kind of thought I had some experience. I don't know. But she literally said, "Oh, she's not here." She gave me a uniform and she said, "Oh, you're going to be in between two rooms." So, in at least in this childcare, they had two rooms kind of joined by the bathroom. And so you share the bathroom and you share the outdoors. And she kind of told me, well, she's not here, but when she comes back today or tomorrow, you're going to have a small induction with her. But for now, you're going to be between these two rooms and you're going to help both. And so you're going to learn with them. And she let me there. So she kind of introduced me quickly, saying that's a new girl. And she left. And I was here, like with my smile, and I'm like, I didn't know what to do. And the first thing I did was just telling every single person I will meet my name, saying, "Hi, I'm Christine. Just so you know, I don't have any experience at all. This is my very first day in a childcare center." I just wanted it to be super clear so that no one would just come to me and ask me to do stuff or like expect me to know everything. And that's what happened. Most of the people thought I was like a casual worker, so I usually go in different centers to help when they need people. And so they would ask me to do stuff, and I was like, I just mentioned it, but I don't have any experience. And they were like, and they wouldn't understand it, and they would keep asking me questions like, so where did you work before? And I was like, no, 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 I mean, it was my very first day in a childcare center, and I don't even have my certificate. And they would just look at me super shocked, and like, really? And I was like, yeah, I'm supposed to get an injection this morning, but she had something to do, so I'm just here. And like, so it was just the whole day like that, me introducing myself to people, saying things. And there was miscommunication as well because they gave me a list and I was supposed to cover breaks. So just being in a room, helping them while someone was going on break and doing that the whole day. But eventually, I didn't understand that either. They just gave me the list expecting me to understand that because they thought I was casual, and I was just like, what am I doing with that? And it was pretty chaotic first day. Um, but working in hospitality in different countries and different work environments, I'm pretty used to just keeping calm and just literally observing. So I just observe what the people are doing and I try to do the same. So I just see them playing with the kids, so I play with the kids. If they ask me something, I do it. If I don't know how to do, I just ask questions. But I keep super calm in the outside. So when you see me, you're like, uh, oh, that's a pretty calm and confident person. But in the inside, I'm just exploding, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm so nervous, and I'm just like a little scared cat or dog. I don't know. But I'm really self-trained to look calm and confident in the outside. So a few days after, quite a lot of my coworkers were commenting on the fact that they couldn't believe it was my first few days because I was so calm and I was already playing with the kids and I love kids and I'm used to having kids all around. I have a lot of nephew, nieces, cousins, um, and I have worked with 7 years old to 10 years old in the Scouts. So I'm pretty used with kids, being with kids, and I love it. So it was pretty cool with the kids. I played with them. A lot of them would be nice with me from the beginning, and I was just trying my hardest. But it's not the same being with your nephews and like family kids, where you can pretty much do anything. You just play with them. Sometimes you can scream at them. It's your family. It's not the same when you work, especially in a country as strict um, as Australia. So I was just so afraid to do something that I couldn't do. Um, I didn't know what was right or no, so I restrained myself from doing a lot, but I was still observing people and just trying. So the small things they would let me do was more like interacting with the kids and like helping them washing their hands and stuff. So I would just try. And I would try to talk as well with the educators just to tell them, but I don't know what to do, just tell me. And eventually, on my very first day, I learned how to change nappies. And even that was pretty funny because they didn't expect me not to know. And I was like, I play with children at home, but doesn't mean I change the nappies. I don't know. And so one of the women showed me, but like super quickly, she kind of like, well, you can't take too long with a 1 year old in front of you anyway. So she was just changing the babies, explaining to me, oh, you need to do that, da, 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 da. And that's it. I was like, okay. And it was super stressful because the very first nappy I changed, the grandparents were there and they came to pick him up. And um, so I had to change the nappy, his nappy before he left. And he was crying because it was new, it was the beginning of the year, and the grandpa came with me to change the nappies and he was standing next to me when I was changing, trying to interact with the kid. So we stopped crying a bit. And it was so stressful. I was like, oh my god, what if I miss something? What if. And so I changed him, I cleaned him, and I put the nappy on. And then one of my coworker came and she laughing. She was like, oh, you put it the wrong way. Let me show you again. And I would just put it the wrong way. And it was so embarrassing. And I was so nervous. And I was just laughing, looking at the ground, but I'm sorry. It was my first time, I'm a bit nervous. And he was like, yeah. It was really embarrassing and stressful. But the coworker was really nice. And so she explained to me. And when they left, she came back and she showed me exactly how you do it. And I was like, yeah, sorry, I was just so nervous. And she was like, yeah, no problem. Um, and yeah, so that was my very first stressful day. The second day started a bit the same. So the manager wasn't there still in the morning. So I kind of started working, like again, observing mainly, playing with the kids, doing the very small things I could do, like cleaning, helping the kids wash their hands, what like observing, supervising them, and stuff. And then I finally got a small induction with the manager, and it was pretty short, to be honest. It was like maybe 5-10 minutes talk, and she just had like a checklist and like another um, like pile of papers, and she was kind of explaining to me, on your first day, you should learn to do that, like interacting with the kids, supervising them. The few things I kind of already started doing the day before. And so she was just telling me, oh, you learn to do that. You need to learn how to change nappies and everything. And so she kind of like showed me, oh, you have some papers you can read, like the procedures and like all the things you need to know about the company, about the job, the role of an educator. So she kind of told me this is all the papers you need to read, and you will need to be trained. And I started on the first day, and it was a Friday, and she told me the two first day are a bit hard. I know, I'm sorry about it, but from next week, the room leader from the room you're gonna mainly be in will be back, and she's the one who's supposed to train you. And I was like, sweet, perfect. So I can actually get trained from the next week. And so she also said like we're gonna do another chat the following week to see where I am and stuff. And if I needed something, I could always come to her. But she was pretty confident to say this kind of job is the kind of job you learn on the job. So, you know, observe, ask questions, and you learn by doing. And that's kind of what I started doing the day before. So I was like, I understand. And she was really nice. She said, like, if you need anything, just come to me or anyone you feel comfortable with. And so the first week was a bit stressful as well, because as I mentioned, it was a stressful beginning of the year, a lot of changes, and everyone was very stressed, and like the teams weren't really confirmed yet. They were still like trying things out and moving people around. So there's no fixed team. No one was really settled down, like the teams, the children. So it was a bit hard. But as like the first day, I just did what I could. So I kept keeping calm and just observing, literally just observing. And I was I was moved a lot in different rooms to help as well. So what I did was just like observing what the different rooms, different teams were doing, and I would look what the I would try to learn the routine of the day as well, because we had a routine with like starting with morning tea, nappy changes, playing, grip time, and then lunch, and then nappy again, then nap time, and then nappies again, and then during the nap time the educators would try to do as many work as possible, like paperwork or cleaning and stuff, and then again playing with the kids, afternoon tea, and like nappies before we go home, and then so I would try my best to learn the routine during the first 2 weeks, I think, while observing what the different teams were doing and like how they would interact with the children as well. Um, not everyone interact the same way with children, so we all have different ways of doing. I didn't agree with all of them, but it's good to see how everyone is, and you get to know your team members as well, and all the people in the center. And so after 2 weeks, like I was so happy because one of the educator came to me and she was like, I'm still shocked. I can't believe this is your first time working in childcare center, because you're so good with the children and you're taking initiatives and you're trying and you're helping us actually. And I was really happy to hear that. And it was chaotic in the center, and like people were stressed. I never really got trained like I was supposed to, because she was so busy and everyone was. And she actually apologized about it to like the room leader. She said like, I know I was supposed to train you, I'm sorry, it's still like pretty busy, and I can't really train you yet. And I understood. I was like, no, it's okay, I'm just observing you. Just as long as you girls keep in mind that I'm new and I don't know what I'm doing, don't hesitate to tell me what to do. And I was just doing my best and like doing the small things I could. So, nappy changes, I would do them a lot, and cleaning as well. I would clean a lot, So I spent my first 2 3 weeks doing that, mainly doing the small work, um, like trying my best to do the small work so that the other educators who had experience could do the other stuff, like all the paperwork and dealing with the parents and the kids, and I would play with the kids as well. So I built quite a good connection and relationship with the kids as well. Um, I just really love playing with kids. So if I see one child crying, I will hug them, just like natural with me, and um, like anything, when we fall, and like kids fall all the time, especially at this age when we start learning to run and like you know climb and stuff. Um, and yeah, I would also play a lot with them. I love playing with kids. Um, I would learn a lot of songs as well. But I already have a few songs I really love. So I remember like walking to work every morning, I would learn the songs so I could sing with them. Um, so I spent like the first month, like after the first month, I was mainly doing that. I was getting really good at understanding the routine, and I was jumping on like the things I could do. Um, Maybe too much because then they would slowly let me do it because they knew I would just do it. But I was okay with it because that's the way I've learned, and like now I'm pro with nappy changes, yay! Or I'm really good with like cleaning, and I slowly after 2 months now I get the children to help me as well because they're like me and they see me like changing nappies. So when we see me cleaning and I'm like, "Do you want to help Titi?" And then they come and they help me clean, and it's very cute. Um, I'm slowly trying to teach them more things. So yeah, the first month and a half was hard because I didn't really get trained, but at the same time it was good because I could observe a lot and I could try a lot and I wasn't scared to ask questions. And then um, it looks like they had a lot of problems in the team with like struggles with getting the paperwork done and a lot of things. It wasn't going that right, or like, and we were getting stressed because some assessment was supposed to be done by June, but eventually the COVID-19 happened and then delayed everything. And some of the families, like some of the educators, stopped coming because of the kids or any things. So many things happened with the COVID-19. So eventually we hired a new person to help out our new room leader and to help out the team as well. That was after a month and a half, I think, by the middle of last month, and at the same time they hired her. That was just maybe the first or like the second week of the COVID-19. There was supposed to be a transition when they would talk together, and I've learned afterwards, but like the old room leader was supposed to go on a month of leave, like a leave, 1 month leave, because she was moving houses as well. Um, so there was a lot of things happening, and eventually with the COVID-19, she left earlier because of a child being sick, not COVID-19 related, but she was afraid to bring it home or any complications. She wanted to stay with the kid, which is fair enough. So the new room leader came, she wasn't there, and then there was a lot of confusion of like if she was going to be the new or if we're going to be two room leaders. And for 2 weeks there was a lot of confusion because at the same time another girl who was in the team left for a week because her sister was giving birth. So she left as well, so we were only two of the old team and the new leader, and it was a lot of confusion. And then the other one came back and we were four, and it was hard to get to know each other because another thing that happened with the COVID-19 is that we got our hours cut off, so we were working less days, so it was hard to see everyone the same day, and we had less kids as well. That's the main reason. Most people stopped working or like work from home, so they kept the children with them. Anyways, so it was a lot of confusion, and um, uh, it was hard to get everyone together and talk so that we make sure that we're all in the same um, state of mind or like goals, and we understand the situation. Like I wasn't new at so I didn't even know all the things that were happening. I was just trying my hard every day to entertain the kids and like interact and everything. So now we finally had a chance to maybe a week ago to do a meeting all together, and that was good because we had the whole team member together except one of the room leader who was on leave. And anyway, so we had like the four of us together and we could talk about what was happening, and that's when I finally realized what was happening and like the changes. And I didn't know the old room leader wasn't going to be there until like June, which was supposed to be the assessment time. That's why they hired a new person, and it was really nice to be able to sit there for 1 hour all together and talk about why there was all these changes, and like to just open up to each other as well. So after that, we started like communicating more as well, and we started changing more things. And from the very first time with the new room leader, I just bonded with her. We had the same work ethics and like interaction style with the children as well. So we even became friends, to be honest. So it was just a lot of changes during the first 2 months, and especially the last 2 weeks and 2 3 weeks. And now it's slowly changing, and it's actually a good thing that we're in this crazy situation. It's not a good thing for the word, but I mean, just the fact that it's quiet at work means that we have more time to change things. So we changed the whole room. Sorry, we changed the whole room, and we cleaned a lot. So now the room looks so different. So we had the time to really focus on what the children like and like change the room. Um, Following their interest, and now it looks really cool. We're starting working more on like programs and like communication, and we're slowly changing everything. We're doing more activities, we're talking more. So in a sense it's really good for us. um, we can't wait to have all the kids back at work though, and like be able to work normal hours again. um, but yeah, it's a very very good thing, but now we have the time to talk. And the new room leader, now that is calm as well, she's really trying hard to train me. Like I told her that with all these changes and everything, I didn't get a chance to get trained, so she really tries to teach me a lot of things. And the other team members as well started opening up, saying, oh, I actually lack a few things, like knowledge about some points of like the role as well, because some of the girls were actually pretty not new but still new. um, so we're opening up a lot to our team member now that we it's more quiet, and she's trying best to teach us a lot of things as well. So to sum up, it was really stressful. There was a lot of changes. It was chaotic, but I guess that's 2020 for most people. And yeah, I just did my best to just observe, keep calm, and like try to understand that everyone is stressed. Trying my best not to take things personally, and I know I tend to. And just doing my best, observing, asking questions. Eventually, when the new room leader came, I was really excited, and I started doing things I shouldn't have done. Maybe like activities that I didn't think were not okay in the childcare center, and it was good because they slowly started telling me things and explaining me things. So actually, I think it's a good thing that I started trying things. So now they tell me why, and they tell me explain me more things about the philosophy of the company, and the things I cannot do. So yeah, now it's my third month, and I'm slowly starting to understand more things, and I try more things, and I've built a really good connection with relationship with the kids as well. And yeah, we have less children as well, so sometimes I'm alone with like four children. And one of my goal, I'm gonna say it to the world, is at some point have my own company. So even if it's a very very small business and I only have 4 kids or 5 kids at home, I would love to do it on my own. I know it's really hard. I met someone who actually is doing it, and I know it's hard. I know it's a lot of paperwork. I know it's a lot of things to do, but I'm slowly gonna get there. I know it. I have the will, and I'm gonna study hard. I'm gonna do my bachelor degree. I'm gonna um, get my experience on it, on the field, and at some point I'm gonna do it. Could be in 10 years, could be in less. Um, so yeah, so it's actually really good. But now I get to be alone with 4 kids, and I actually see and feel how hard it is to manage for a very small kid on your own, because when you need to change nappy, when you need to feed them, it's really hard. But if you build that connection relationship, it's doable and it's actually enjoyable. So the first three, like 2 months and a half, have been really interesting. I've learned so much, I think, and I think I wouldn't have learned that much if it wasn't for this crazy situation and beginning of the year, period of the year. So I'm pretty happy about it. I know it was hard, it wasn't ideal, but it was good, and I've actually made a few friends at work already. Um, and yeah, I have hope, and I really want to keep learning and do things. Now I'm trying to calm down and like study more things, and I take the time to think more deeply into activities and like stuff I want to try at work, and like then think about all the pros and cons, and go to my other team members or like my team leader and like talk about things. So yeah, that's a bit how my 2 months and a half, 2.5 months had been at work. It's a very short resume, but yeah, here you go. Thank you for listening again. I hope I didn't bore you. Um, any feedbacks or comments if you had the same experience at work or any kind of work before, or if you have goals as well, or if you work in education, feel free to leave comments and talk to me. Call me. We're all kind of bored with like staying home all the time. So feel free to give me any comments or any good stories about working with children, or how you managed your first month, or remembering how you started your job and stuff. And let's just share and spread love. Cheers. Have a good evening, morning, day, and see you soon.